Good morning, hope you're doing well. I know this is my second video this morning, just a little one in regards to the game today, the protest and everything else, which was pre-recorded, hence why I'm doing another video now, because I felt that it was important to talk about the managerial situation. Of course, it's a big talking point anyway for today, with the pressure that's on Graham Potter, the start that West Ham have made. Obviously, it's well documented that West Ham are, well, certainly Graham Potter is under considerable pressure. Obviously, West Ham board are, protest today. It's a really difficult place at the moment, West Ham, there's no two ways about it, but there has been big developments now in terms of the managerial situation, and that's regarding to Nuno Espírito Santo, who was yesterday pictured in and around the area where David Sullivan lives. So we've had an update from EXWHUEMPLOYEE on the situation. So it appears now that Nuno met with Karren Brady on Thursday to have a meeting with regards to taking over from Graham Potter, which apparently was, if I understand it, was positive. The talks were positive. Nuno's now gone and met David Sullivan. So the feeling that I've always had and maintained for quite a while was that the Everton game on the next Monday night was obviously not next Monday week, you know what I mean, would probably be Potter's last game, because if depending on results, unless he won both games, and that's the case. West Ham are still using that line. They do this quite a lot. No, we've still got full faith in Graham Potter. They haven't got full faith in Graham Potter. That's why they're interviewing other managers. Now, we put out a video the other day, which was regards to Sullivan Brady. Bilic has been approached by the club, has spoken to the club as far as we understand it, and is keen to come back. I'm going to be honest with you, worried by that. I've been trying to sort of convince myself, oh no, he could lift the mood. I think he would. I think he'd be a popular in terms of people like Bilic, but in terms of, is he the man to steer West Ham out of a relegation battle? I'm really not convinced by that. I mean, you've only got to look at his record. It hasn't been brilliant. And even though West Ham, look, he had a fantastic season, didn't he, at Upton Park, our farewell bowling season. We had Dimitri Payet that season. He made all the difference. And so it's very difficult, I think, to sort of put it on Bilic and say, well, it was down to him. That's the reason we did so well. People will know, I've spoken about him enough times on here over the years and whatnot. But I love Sullivan Brady. He's a top bloke, and always be grateful for that season, last season at bowling. He was kind of the perfect manager, I felt, for that season. So very, very grateful to him for then, but I'm not convinced. So I've been quite worried. My desire for West Ham has always been that I want us to go and be ambitious and go and get the best manager we can. We just don't do that. West Ham don't operate in that manner. We always go for managers that are unemployed. And I think when you look at the pool of managers that are available now, realistically, for West Ham, if you look at the names that are being mentioned, I mean, some of them send shivers down your spine. So Steve Cooper, Sean Dyche, Sullivan Brady obviously has been thrown in, but then you've got Nuno. Now, Nuno for me has always been the one that stood out as going, well, that's the one we should be going for. If we're going to go into this pool of managers, that's the one we should be going for. So it appears that's going to be the case, and it's actually made me shift my view of today now in the fact that I feel this could be Graham Potter's last game. I think if we do lose this, and the fact now we've got Nuno meeting with the managers, I think they might just say, let's get this done, get him in for the Everton game. It makes sense. What was the point in delaying it? So yeah, as I say, as far as we understand it, then Nuno had a meeting with Karren Brady on Thursday. It was positive. Met with David Sullivan yesterday at his mansion. So I went around the area. That's the pictures we've seen online. So it looks like that's the goer. I would be very surprised now if we see Graham Potter here much longer. I think today could be his last game. Of course, unless West Ham win, if we put in a convincing performance and win, and then obviously go to Everton and win a game, then obviously the board may start to think, well, hang on, let's put a pin in this and see how we get on. I just don't see it, do you? I mean, really, do you honestly see West Ham doing that? I mean, I know stranger things have happened, but there's no evidence to suggest that's going to happen. So that's where we are. It's a big one. And of course the protest today, absolutely huge. I'm really gutted I'm not going to be there. I'll certainly be at the next one, and I'm looking forward to seeing the numbers and the impact that's going to have on the ball, because there's going to be cameras there. I'll tell you, there'll be a lot of press. I do think the press are going to be very aware of this and wanting to make sure they capture it. So it's a big occasion. As I say, I'm gutted I can't be there, but I'll certainly be there in spirit anyway, and we'll be at the next. I'm also on TalkSport tomorrow morning about 8 o'clock. So if you're on a Sunday morning, you know, when you're thinking, I fancy a lay-in tomorrow, no, don't do that. Don't be doing that. Come and listen to me talk about the board and whatnot on TalkSport. So I'll be over there. But I'll do another video a bit later on today anyway, in regards to the game. As I say, I've got to look after the kids today, so can't make it. But I'll certainly be watching anyway. But yeah, Nuno to West Ham. I think it's going to happen. I think we will be seeing him as our next manager. I think that's on the cards. And I've got to be honest, as I say, out of the pool of managers that are available, I think he's the one. I think he's the one you look at and think, yeah, well, just for me personally, I feel more confident in. I think his record in the Premier League's been very good, to be honest. Aside from Spurs, look what he did at Wolves, got him into Europe, which I think was an outstanding feat when you look at it. And then, of course, he's done wonders last season, didn't he, with Nottingham Forest. So I think it's like he got a bit of a safe pair of hands there in terms of Nuno. I think, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be the most exciting appointment and it's going to be playing amazing football, but he's got enough players there, and I think he will do enough to get to our defence, make us harder to beat, and hopefully make us a team that can start climbing the table and start enjoying our lives a little bit more, because it's been a very bleak time. But any more news, come back to you when I can. Good luck today if you're going over there. Have a good one, and yeah, come on, you Irons.